In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how you can use ProfitPath for Amazon FBA. ProfitPath is an £80 a month piece of software that is incredibly beneficial to Amazon FBA OA sellers. Whilst it's not necessarily a piece of software for beginners, it is an easy way to make more profit as an intermediate or advanced seller. For example, last month, I actually made about £4,000 in profit purely from just ProfitPath source deals. Now, there are 5 main features of ProfitPath. You've got supplier search, you've got spy search, A-to-A search, reverse search, and the wholesale scanner. And today I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how you can set up and use each of these 5 features in the best way possible. We're also going to dive into Profit Go, which is their seller amp SaaS killer, and it is the #1 bit of software that I've been using to analyze deals that I've been finding online. So let's get into it. So on screen now, you can see the ProfitPath dashboard. You can see this is my revenue over the past 30 days, my orders and my units, which is really cool to see on a bit of sourcing software like this. Now, to access any of the features that I'm going to be talking about in this video, it's really simple. Just head up into research and you will see these features here. So there is actually 6. There's also multi-search, which I'll do a little mini section on at the end of the video. But for the most of this video, we'll be focusing on the other 5. So first up, let's have a look at supplier search. In this section, you'll get access to a massive list of suppliers. So all of these are just UK-based suppliers. And if we expand this a little bit, you can see there's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stores. You'll be able to see whether they're just B2C sites or business to business, B2B sites. So these will be like wholesalers versus the other ones will be more like retailers. If you're completely new to Amazon, then this is a great feature to be looking at. It gives you a massive list of retailers and suppliers that you can then use so that you have a little bit of direction with your sourcing. You actually then know what places to be looking at on the internet. And I definitely recommend having a look through this whole section and checking out these websites. Next up, we've also got the reverse search. So I really like the reverse search feature, and that is because it's perfect for those in the kind of beginner to advanced stage of things where you might be gated on a lot of products. And this just allows you to look for products that you know are going to be worth your time. So there's a few different ways to reverse search things. You can enter a list of EAN or the barcodes. You can enter a list of ASINs. And you can also use a list of brands. So first of all, let's talk about brands. So this can be really useful because say you know that you're ungated on Barbie, for example. You can type in Barbie up here or even add in a massive list. If you have a big list of brands you know that you're already ungated for, hit that search button and straight away it will pull up potential deals for you from all of the built-in sites that they have, which you saw earlier. So once you've got this list, you can use all of these different fields to kind of filter certain products. So you can look for certain reviews, estimated sales. So let's filter this from, say, the most selling products to the least selling products. And you can see on here straight away, so we've got the net profit per unit, the ROI, you can see the sales for all of these items. And it's really as simple as going onto here, searching for certain brands or keywords or whatever else, and then being able to see a massive list of potential purchases. Obviously, you've got to check them yourself. You know, you can't fully trust the software to make the right decisions, as always. But as long as you kind of checked over this software and had a look at these deals, you can make some really good purchases. Now, what I found with reverse search is the best way to use it is actually searching by ASIN. And that's because you can head over to Keeper Product Finder and you can specify some really good criteria and you can search for just those ASINs. So you can go into Keeper Product Finder like so. You can specify maybe a max of 50,000 sales rank. You can say you want Amazon to be out of stock on the listing. You can say, I don't know, a buy box price of at least £20. You can then specify offer count, so at least 2 offers to cut out some of the private label stuff. You could even then go and filter by brands or product types or any other metric that you can think of. And you can then take that ASIN list, export that from Keeper, stick that into ProfitPath, and it's going to be able to flag up loads and loads of profitable products for you from that list of ASINs. It's an extremely sophisticated way to be doing sourcing and something that I definitely recommend. Next up, I want to show you Spy Search. So this is a tool that allows you to track your competitors' storefronts. So essentially what you can do with this software is you can add sellers to track and you can then use that to pull a list of ASINs from their store and then use their multi-search feature to basically try and track where these sellers are buying their products from and basically kind of copy what they're doing. So I've got a few sellers selected here. I'm gonna have to blur these because I don't want to leak out kind of the best storefronts to be checking. And then if we hit the search button up here now, this is gonna run a search on those stores and flag up, yep, straight away, all of the products that they're selling and potential sources for where they're buying it from. So obviously it's not going to be perfect every time. You know, sometimes deals go out of stock or they're just going to be from stores where you're not going to be able to find them. Maybe they're not built into ProfitPath. But as you can see, there are so many potential buyers on here. And since you're tracking other sellers, you know that these products are probably doing quite well, particularly if you, like me, and you get really into the data and work out which storefronts are the very best ones to be tracking for this. It just gives you a massive range of products that you can potentially be buying. And it's only a few clicks away. It's literally as simple as kind of clicking on one of these and finding out potentially where they're buying that product from. Now, this method with Spy Search is called storefronting. And there are a lot of different ways to do storefront sourcing. I definitely would recommend checking out my other video where I have a whole dedicated video just on storefront sourcing and all the different methods that you can use to do that. Check out that video to learn even more about how you can advance your store with this sort of tactics. So next up, if we head back into research and check out the A2A search, this is where you can actually find deals that are being sold on the Amazon website, whether that's the UK one or abroad, and buy those products directly from Amazon to then sell back onto Amazon in the UK. So you can see here, the UI looks very similar to kind of the other things you'd be looking at, where you just get a big long list of deals to kind of be checking through. You can use lots of different filters to kind of check like kind of your minimum margin, your profit and everything like that. You can also deselect certain categories if some stuff like software or pet supplies or something like that isn't to your liking. And honestly, this feature can be really good. I really like how it pulls data from other marketplaces across Europe, like opportunities to buy products abroad and then sell them back into the UK at that higher price. I'm sure if you've been to places like Spain and elsewhere in Europe, you know how cheap just day-to-day living and other items can be compared to the UK, where we're all just getting scammed on a regular basis. So I do really like this software. I think it is quite good for A2As, but it isn't actually my go-to for A2A products. I find this is just a bit too hands-on, this method. There's a bit too much involved, too much stuff to kind of be tracking yourself. And though definitely if you put in the effort, it's worth doing, I personally just stick to using LiveCops. In the LiveCops Discord server, they've actually got an automated feed of products that are pulled from a range of sources. And in here, they have AI that automatically analyzes the deal for you. You can see this deal here was rated a 5 out of 5. You can see the profit straight away. You can actually also hook up this software to another bot called Chaos, and it automatically buys these deals for you on your Amazon account. And you can obviously set up your filters on Chaos, whether you've got like minimum profit, like, you know, this deal, for example, it's quite short on the profit per unit. For some sellers, that's just not going to be something that they want to buy. And I find this to be amazing. I mean, it means that I don't have to scroll through loads of deals like with ProfitPath. You don't have to kind of filter through all this and figure out kind of the best products to be looking at and do all of that malarkey. It's as simple as just setting up Chaos, linking my Amazon account, and then just products arrive at my prep center. And I've barely even registered that I've bought them because it's so automatic. With that method of using Chaos for auto checkout, I've been at least making $1 or $2 grand a month over the past, like, you know, nearly 3 years now that I've been using it. Obviously, that's a small chunk of my overall profits monthly, but for something that is almost 100% automated, I cannot complain. And then finally, let me show you the wholesale scanners. To be honest, I don't really do wholesale. I find that online arbitrage is just way higher margins, a much wider selection of products, and just overall for me has been the most profitable. But, you know, if you've got wholesale lists and you've got wholesale suppliers, like maybe you've gone through the supplier search and you found some good accounts and stuff like that, then this feature can be really useful. You can just click up here to create a new scan. You upload a CSV file or an Excel spreadsheet or something like that, where you've got all the wholesale suppliers' products, all of their pricing details, everything like that. And then this software will automatically scan through them and flag up potentially good deals. So it's super time saving. I mean, though I don't do wholesale, there was one wholesale supplier I bought from a while ago. They had like 30,000 products or something ridiculous. It would be almost impossible to do that myself and work through it one by one. So being able to use this feature was quite useful. But that said, you know, I don't really do wholesale much. I find OA is so much more scalable and just much higher margin, which at the end of the day is the most important thing. You want to be making as much money with as little investment as possible. And then finally, just to touch on it briefly, we've got multi-search. So this is quite similar to the reverse search feature, except you just kind of get wider control over the filters and stuff like that. I think it can be quite useful. I think if you get really good with the filters, it's kind of similar to Keeper Product Finder in the way of kind of how you can source with it. But I find that a lot of people tend to get a little bit overwhelmed with kind of how much data there is and how much you have to filter through it to find the really good stuff. But it is definitely worth a look. You know, every feature in this software is brilliant and something that I definitely recommend taking the time to kind of research. Now, finally, I just wanted to touch briefly on Profit Go, which is their kind of Chrome extension that they've just launched, which, as I said in the intro, is their Seller Amp SaaS killer. So if I put them side by side for a bit, you can see there's definitely some similarities between these bits of software in terms of the data they show you and how they display it. But I've always found that Seller Amp SaaS, you know, they don't really do much with it now. It's just another case in Amazon. It's quite common, I've noticed, where software developers make something cool and it works, and then they don't really kind of do anything with it. You know, they don't try and add new features or anything, which is fine. You know, the tool works. Profit Go is just a better version of it. It's got more accurate data. You're going to see more accurate sales data, more accurate profit calculations. And it's still got all your usual stuff, you know, your price graphs, monthly sold, offer count, everything else. But they also allow you to much more accurately check variation listings like this. You can see that this listing is linked with the BSR of the 80 mil pack here. And this one here is not shared. So that really affects how you kind of look at the sales data, and it's something that Seller Amp SaaS really kind of lacks. We've also got a much more reliable buy box statistics chart here as well, so you can see who's kind of winning the buy box. If you ever see a listing where Amazon is winning it like 95% of the time, or even 100%, you probably want to avoid that sort of product. This one, however, does look pretty good. You can see a range of sellers all getting the buy box. Now, what I would say is probably my #1 favorite feature of Profit Go is this reverse search feature. So this directly links into the reverse search feature on the ProfitPath website. And it's awesome because on here, you can literally see straight away suppliers for this product. So you can see all these different websites and what prices they've got it at. You can see other retailers have got it at like 30, 32, 36, 37, which is unprofitable. You can see the profitability, the actual like margin in other marketplaces, as well as the UK. So this is really great for just quickly checking kind of what price it's selling for elsewhere, and even potentially finding a source for that product that you can buy to make a profit. So here you can see this one, eni.co.uk, not really fitting my criteria. 10% margin isn't really enough, but you know, £26 is definitely a decent price. If we set that as our buy price here, you can see, yeah, the ROI, sorry, not margin, ROI is 10%, which, you know, is too low for me, but it's really, really nice to see that. And it kind of gives you a bit of an idea of what that product is going for elsewhere, which especially for A-to-A deals can be super useful. And it's something that with this software, I can now see instantly. Previously, I would have had to Google that, I'd have to do research, I'd have to probably log into some other bit of software. Too much time and effort spent doing that. With Profit Go, it's all in one place, it's the easiest to do. So there you have it. That is everything that you need to know about ProfitPath and how to utilize it to make even more profit from Amazon FBA. So I've only briefly touched on Profit Go in this video, but make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll have a full course video coming out on that soon. But as good as ProfitPath is, it only makes up a very small fraction of my revenue each month. I use a ton of other sourcing methods, including my 3 secret sourcing techniques, which you're not gonna find anywhere else on the internet. It's these sourcing methods that have helped Sam scale to 62 grand in monthly profit. They've helped Wes make an extra 6 grand a month alongside his 9 to 5. And it's helped Leighton buy a £30,000 Audi purely from Amazon FBA profits. So I teach these 3 secret methods to all of my coaching students. And if you'd like to learn more, you can click the link down below in the video description to book in a free strategy call with me. So finally, make sure to like and subscribe and click up here to watch my interview with Luca, who is the founder of ProfitPath.